Hello, everyone. I pray everyone is having a great day today. And I apologize, y'all. This video actually supposed to been came out before the other one, but for some reason I got ready to upload it. It wasn't. It didn't have all the sound like towards the end of the video, so I didn't want to post it, and y'all couldn't hear what I was saying. And with being a single mother and working business, and and so I'm just able to record it now. So I was speaking on how God helped me overcome COVID 3 times, not one, three. And I just feel led to speak on it because some people didn't make it out the first time they had COVID. And someone might be battling something right now or they close loved one. I just want to encourage y'all to keep faith in God because He can help you overcome the impossible. It's plenty of stories I'm going to be sharing with you all that at the time I was going through, whether it was sickness or just life, things. At the time, I didn't think I was going to overcome, but God helped me. And I just want to encourage you all, keep faith in God and just talk to God, read your Bible. Everyone ain't on the same level with, the Bible because I ain't just all in my Bible like that how I should be. I read it every day, but like knowing like how people can recite certain scriptures and I'm not there yet. But I'm gonna get there with the help of God. But every day I read my Bible in the morning before I go to bed faithfully. Been doing it almost 2 years now. And I've been having more peace in my life, and God been just having me think about certain things. I done overcame, and with being a single mother, no mother, my mother died at 22. I mean, my mother died when I was 22, and that's hard, and especially when you don't just have no family just close. I ain't saying I don't have family, but we're not close how we should. I'm just being honest. This channel, I'm not finna be sugarcoating nothing. I'm just speaking real, and I'm not here to bash nobody. I don't do that. I don't have time for that. But y'all, this one particular night, the first time I had COVID, I had to go get in the shower, and the only way I got relief, like I said, is by that hot water, that steam. And I took my meds, and I got over it. And y'all wasn't nobody but God, cause my kids was around me the whole time because my oldest, he was in school, of course, but he ended up having to stay at home because I couldn't get out and take him. And plus, by me having COVID, I had told the school they ended up told me to keep him at home and make sure he get tested before he come back. So y'all, I got my kids tested. When I got retested, I didn't have it again. I mean, no more after I got retested after the quarantine, and they didn't even get it. There wasn't nobody but God because they was around me the whole time. We was in the same household. There wasn't nobody but God. Okay, so when I moved up here, I ended up working at the hospital because the job I came for didn't come all the way through until like a year later. Y'all, that was so crazy. I don't know how, but I'm gonna speak about that. But right now, I want to just speak about how me getting over COVID these times. And y'all, I ended up working at the hospital. Had to get the COVID shot. Didn't want to, but I had to end up giving my clients away where I was working, where I was staying there because I couldn't keep going back and forth because now school done started, and the other job I came for haven't, came through. So I ended up just stepping out on faith, giving the clients away, working with the one client I did have at this job because I had already got hired at another place too, but they only had one client for me at the time. And down here I didn't know nobody to bring clients in like I did back home where I came from. So I just trusted God. I work with in my business, doing my, I have a cleaning business. I was doing that, and I work with the one client. But people know me to know I can't have no one job. I always have two, three jobs, the side hustle. They're just me because I'm a single parent, and I don't like to ask nobody for nothing. And their fathers, they not in their life like that, and I ain't here to bash them, but at the end of the day, I'm still a mom, so I gotta do what I do. And with the help of God. I never forget God because God helped me get through all this. I'm gonna be talking about all these testimonies. So I ended up going ahead taking the COVID test because I'm like I gotta work. So working in the hospital, y'all know it's a lot of germs in there. So I end up getting COVID. Like a month after I had took the test and started working. I mean, took the shot, COVID shot, and started working. So now I had to quarantine again. Kids never got it. They didn't get it then. Nothing but God. So I go back to work after, I get retested. Yeah, about 3 months later, I get it again. I had got a sore throat. I'm like, I don't be getting sick. Like what's going on? So some told me just take the test because I had the home one then. I had an extra one. So I took it and y'all, I had COVID. The last two times, I ain't even let nobody know in the family. I ain't tell nobody. Didn't nobody know my kids and the people I had worked with that time at the hospital, like a couple people in the office, but you know how job talk, everybody probably knew. I don't know. But I just got through this with just me, God, and my kids, basically. Like family and friends didn't know about it. Not that I was trying to hide it from them, but it's just like, I don't know. Some things you gotta just battle it out by yourself, especially when you know people not gonna be there how they should. So I mean, why talk about certain stuff and then plus want nobody here but me and my kids anyway, you know. And yeah, I got through it again. The help of God, kids didn't get it again. And there wasn't nobody but God. And it's just amazing how you go through certain things, then you think about it later on how at the time you feel like you ain't gonna get through certain stuff, and later on down the line you think about certain stuff, you be like, there wasn't nobody but God. Y'all, all 3 times I had COVID, my kids never got it. Never got it. They weren't sick or nothing. They weren't nothing but God. And it's kind of be hard for me when I get sick. That's why I try not to get sick, y'all, because like I said, my mother died when I was 22 years old. And it's hard, to trust people with your kids these days because people don't do right. And so I try to just be there for my kids myself. And I don't try to bother nobody because I had these kids they mine. I ain't trying to you know, like blame nobody for not helping me or nothing because I'm grown. But I'm just speaking, facts. You can't trust people with your kid. It don't matter who it is. Sometimes the schools you can't trust them there, and they gotta go to school. So I'm just speaking, straight facts. And I remember when I lost my mother, I really didn't even just cry out like that because I was trying to be so strong for it. My siblings, because I had my little sister was 5, and my brother, he was like 16, 17, somewhere up in there. And I was just trying to be strong. Then my oldest, he was like 2 at the time, and so he didn't go to the front. He ended up going to stay with his grandmother on his father's side, and I really wish he would have went, but then again, I don't know because he remember a lot. My mom used to keep him when I used to work and stuff. He remember a lot. He got a lot of memory for to be 2. For him to be 2 years old at the time. He was almost 3, but he was 2. He remember a lot, and I'm proud of that because them mamas you got to cherish of your loved ones. You have to, y'all. And I thank God for his grandmother for helping me because she didn't have to do that. And y'all, like I said, when you lose your mother, it's hard. I really didn't even cry until like 7 years later after my mother passed. Because I remember I cried a little bit at the funeral when I looked up at my sister after reading that poem. And I was just looking at her face. And that's the only time I remember crying at that time when she first died. So, y'all, thank God every day. I don't care if you're going through something, you still just give him thanks because he's going to bring you out. I promise you that. And love on your loved ones. I love you all and have a blessed day. And like and subscribe to my channel for more of my testimonies I'm going to be sharing with you all. Have a good day.